Early voting began yesterday. Find out how Washington County broke its record.
Flu season is here. Learn how the university is working to keep students safe.
The drought has affected many. Find out how it has affected farmers as UATV starts right now.
Welcome to this Tuesday night edition of UATV. I'm Josh Stroll.
And I'm Lauren Burgess. Thank you for joining us.
Washington County broke its record for the first day of early voting. According to their Facebook page, over 7,000 people turned out to voting locations across the county yesterday.
This is more than 4,000 voters than reported numbers from 2022. Early voting will be continued through November 4th.
Those wishing to vote early are now able to do so. Voting is open from 8 to 6 on weekdays and 10 to 4 on the weekends.
Residents can vote at the Fayetteville Public Library, the Washington County Clerk's Office this week, and right here on campus at the Alumni House starting next week. Voters will need to present a form of identification upon arrival.
Medical marijuana will not be making its legal debut in the state of Arkansas. In September, Arkansans for Patient Access submitted nearly 40,000 signatures to get the issue on the ballot.
The Arkansas Supreme Court ruled that the language used on the ballot was misleading, while Issue 3 will remain on the ballot. Votes will not be counted.
Voters are also casting their ballots for the city clerk. Incumbent Kara Paxton is running against Lorinda Smith.
Both candidates have been campaigning to voters outside of the Washington County Courthouse. We talked with each of them to find out their plan for Fayetteville.
The current incumbent has 100% staff turnover. The communication within the city is strained because of the incumbent and transparency.
My platform is immunity, collaboration, and communication. Our office has been able to change the public calendar from only going out 1 week of public notifications to now posting public notifications for out 12 months. That allows our citizens to have better access to information and better communication with the city.
Both Smith and Paxton says their leadership is what Fayetteville needs. And students who aren't eligible to vote in Washington County still have time to submit their mail-in ballots. Voters must fill out and return an absentee ballot application 1 week before Election Day to receive their mail-in ballot.
Absentee ballots can be returned to your county's clerk's office before polls close on Election Day. For those mailing in a ballot, the U.S. Postal Service recommends mailing it in 1 week before Election Day.
The election is near, and one organization is helping students set up a voting plan. The Democracy Fellows students will be at the Greek Theater this Thursday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., helping students prepare to cast their votes. They will assist with absentee ballot applications, finding early voting locations, and more. All voters are invited to come meet with the Fellows to discuss a plan to get to the polls.
A Decatur man accused of attempted capital murder pleaded not guilty. According to court documents, 18-year-old Jordan Gonzalez entered his plea in Benton County on October 18th. He is being held in the Benton County Detention Center with a bond of $500,000. His trial was set to begin in January of 2025, but will now start on February 12, 2025.
A woman sentenced to life in prison in Missouri will now stand trial in Benton County. Amber Waterman is charged with 2 counts of capital murder and kidnapping for the death of Ashley Bush and her unborn child in 2022. According to court documents, Waterman will now stand trial in Benton County following last week's sentencing in Missouri. Benton County will seek the death penalty against Waterman.
Police departments in the area are cracking down on distracted driving. Departments from Fayetteville, Rogers, and Bella Vista, among others, are increasing police presence from now until October 26th. This is a partnership with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. The sole purpose of the partnership is to stop distracted driving.
The burn ban for Washington County remains in place. There is little to no drought relief expected this week. This is the 8th dry stretch for the northwest Arkansas area since 1955. The ban prohibits any outdoor burning, including trash, brush, and campfires.
Northwest Arkansas has been in drought conditions since late August, and it has been affecting farmers in the production of crops. UATV reporter Katie Glanton has a story.
Thank you. Yeah, when we don't get rain, farmers have to rely on other means to water their crops, and it can cause a strife on their livelihood.
A drought is considered a prolonged period of abnormally low rainfall. leading to a shortage of water. Since Northwest Arkansas hasn't had noticeable rainfall since the end of August, it would fit into that category. The demographic that droughts primarily affect are farmers, as they need lots of water for their crops and livestock. William Reagan, farmer at Reagan Family Farm, says that because of the ongoing drought, he's had to use a lot more water than usual.
It's hitting the bottom line. We're having to use a lot more water this year than we have in the past. And it just depends on when we do things. Like the strawberries behind me, when we're setting the rows for them, we actually want the dirt to be really moist, and it wasn't when we had to set them.
William Reagan says that most people usually don't know how hard it is to grow crops, and with the drought, it is just making things harder.
But the general public really doesn't have an idea how hard it is to grow crops, especially these are called specialty crops. It takes a huge amount of work, a huge amount of water.
There's no noticeable rain in this next 7 days based on the forecast of local meteorologists. So it's easy to say that the drought is not going anywhere anytime soon. Reporting live for UATV at Reagan Family Farms, I'm Katie Glanton.
Thank you, Katie. You can help with the ongoing drought by taking shorter showers and running the washing machine and dishwasher when you have full loads.
Staying healthy is important for all students, especially during this time of year. The Pat Walker Health Center is available to provide care and support to any student in need. Molly Tucker has the latest.
As allergy and flu season approaches, it is important for every student to maintain their health. Pat Walker is a great resource on campus for those in need.
With allergy and flu season approaching, it is important for students to be feeling their best during this time of year. Vaccines are a simple, effective way to reduce your risk of illness and help protect those around you. Staying healthy not only helps you succeed academically, but also allows you to focus on things that matter the most. Keeping up with your vaccinations, including getting a flu shot, is more important than ever and can offer great benefits for your health.
We offer the trivalent flu vaccine here, and so that covers 2 types of influenza A and then 1 type of influenza B.
Every student on campus can take simple precautions like washing your hands, covering your mouth when you cough and sneeze. Reporting live from UATV, I'm Molly Tucker.
For those who are interested, Pat Walker is offering walk-in flu vaccines on Thursday, October 31st from 12 to 3:30 p.m. on the first floor of Pat Walker.
Also, it's just a matter of understanding, that these funds go to a good cause.
The university's United Way campaign is continuing its campaign to raise $100,000 for families in need.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
So 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime.
Learn more about one group's effort to spread awareness.
The university's United Way campaign has already raised more than $26,000 for families in Northwest Arkansas. United Way sponsors more than 30 nonprofits that help members of the community. Its 211 hotline connects those with food insecurity and other financial hardships to appropriate resources. United Way also benefits kids grades K through 12 with an after-school library.
Also, it's just a matter of understanding, that these funds go to a good cause. So 98 cents of every dollar that's donated stays here in Northwest Arkansas to help our community and to help those that are most in need in our community.
The university says it's still short of its $100,000 goal. The deadline to donate is November 1st.
Chancellor Robinson is being recognized for his impact on youth development. Robinson was recently selected as the 2024 Leader of the Year by the Boys and Girl Club of Central Arkansas. The chancellor was awarded for his efforts to provide scholarships for low-income Arkansans and first-generation students. Robinson received the award at the Clinton Presidential Center in Little Rock last week.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Members of Zeta Tau Alpha are tabling outside the Union this week and are passing out their pink ribbons to raise awareness for breast cancer. 1 in every 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. Vice President of Philanthropy, Mackenzie Miller, shared how women can keep themselves safe.
That's a really important part of prevention is doing self-exams. It's usually typically once a month that you should do a self-examination.
Thursday night is Zeta's annual Pink Pancake fundraising event. Tickets are available outside of the Union tomorrow and Thursday or at the Zeta House Thursday from 4 to 6. And the Union will be under construction for the next 3 weeks. The 2 staircases on the west side facing Razorback Stadium will be closed for maintenance. The west side entrances will also be closed during this time. Construction will take place from 2 to 6.
Camp Bud is back this Friday. Find out how to set up a campsite for the exhibition game.
How one group at the U of A turns a rivalry into a way to work together. UATV will be back after the break.
How a rivalry weekend can bring 2 groups together. Here is Tyler Arnold with the story.
This past weekend, an annual fundraiser here on campus held by a group of students and faculty made a big impact. As an Arkansas fan, when you hear the battle for the Golden Boot, you might think of our annual football matchup versus the LSU Tigers. However, the Dale Bumpers College of Agriculture, Food, and Life Sciences has their own, called the Golden Boot Giving Challenge. It's a fundraiser put together by Bumpers College and LSU's College of Agriculture to help raise money for one another's program. While each school is trying to raise money for their respected school, the amount of money does not determine the winner of the challenge. The challenge winner is the school with the most individual donations. Assistant Director of Creative Services for Bumpers College, Ariel Romero, told me everything that goes in and comes out of this event.
A team from LSU Ag and Bumpers met together and they thought, hey, what if we could mimic that and support our students? And so after that conversation, we decided that during the matchups to kind of have this friendly contest that's week-long, an effort for us to build community and use the rivalry to do that and build support for the students. The main goal of the Golden Boot Giving Challenge, aside from raising support for students, is really just to build that community. And rivalries have a great way to unite people, And so it really just takes everybody. As a staff, it's the communications team, it's the development team, it's the engagement team, it's even the scholarship team, it's staff and faculty, it's students sharing on their stories. It's really just getting everybody involved and spreading the word around.
The results for this year's Golden Boot challenges in, and Bumpers College took another victory.
Arkansas and LSU plan on having the Golden Boot Challenge for many more years to come.
And signups are open for students who plan to camp outside of Bud Walton Arena when Arkansas takes on Kansas. Spots in line will be on a first-come, first-served basis, and any student who has purchased an access pass is eligible to sign up right now on HawkSync. Registration closes at 6 p.m. on Thursday.
And here we have a great look at Bud Walton from our UATV tower cam right here in the middle. Behind it, it's where all these fans are going to be camping out come the Kansas game on Friday. How does that compare to some of the marquee matchups from last year? Well, I've got that answer. Stick around to find out. UATV Sports after the break. Welcome back to UATV Sports. I'm Colin Anderson, and I hope you've grabbed your concessions and found your seats because it's almost basketball season here on the Hill. As we mentioned earlier, the campgrounds for those looking to get in line for Friday's game opened up today. If it's anything like last year, expect tent lodges to fill up in a hurry. This is what Camp Bud looked like the day before the game against Duke, last year's biggest game. Actually, scratch that, the biggest home game of all time. More than 20,000 Razorback fans piled into Bud Walton, shattering the previous attendance record. And this was all for the 7th-ranked Blue Devils coming in to take on an unranked Arkansas squad. Compare that to this year, or if you look at the preseason AP polls, this is projected top 16 matchup against the perennial favorite coming into the season. Plus, it's the debut of the new head hog, John Calipari. And if that wasn't enough for you, this game is on a Friday instead of a Wednesday. So, moral of the story here, if you want to get in the building, grab your camping gear because this is going to be a game for all time. Oh, and one more reason to watch the opener. Both rosters are chock full of NBA talent, and one pro Hog just inked a deal to extend his career in the association. Over the weekend, Moses Moody signed a 3-year, $39 million contract to remain with the Golden State Warriors. The guard was drafted in 2021 after leading the Hogs to an Elite Eight appearance, and in his rookie season, he helped Steph Curry and the Dubs take down the Boston Celtics and bring the Larry O'Brien back to San Francisco and Fayetteville, but mostly San Francisco. Also on the court over the weekend, the Volley Hogs took to Texas for 2 matches, and safe to say it wasn't the best time for them. On Friday, the Razorbacks were swept by the 7th-ranked Longhorns, and despite taking a 1-set early lead against the Aggies, they ended up meeting the same fate, falling 3-1. This is the first time all season the Hogs have dropped consecutive games, though, and actually it's just the 3rd and 4th losses for the team this season, so they're not quite dead in the water yet. Their next matchup is back home against Mizzou on Friday, so a good chance for them to bounce back in front of their home fans. And now, I wouldn't be so cruel as to leave you with the news of a double Hog loss. So how about one more success story to make a nice little Razorback excitement sandwich? The Arkansas cross-country team traveled to Wisconsin for the pre-nationals race. There, they competed against 7 of the top 10 ranked teams in the country, beating them all. To win the meet, notably absent from Madison was top-ranked Oklahoma State and 2nd-place BYU. The team will look to defend their conference title in just over a week in College Station to kick off the postseason and roll into the national championships from there just a few weeks later. And well, I've crossed my finish line, but UATV is just now entering the home stretch, so stick around, we've got more news after the break.
Take a look outside at our tower cam showing clear skies across the area. Overnight, expect lows in the lower to mid-50s, and tomorrow afternoon, expect highs in the mid to upper 80s.
As we head into this weekend, expect winds to pick up across the area with gusts between 20 to 30 on Thursday and again on Monday. Tune in tomorrow for Joshua's full weather segment right here on UATV.
National Transfer Week continues through Friday, and that calls for a swag swap. Any student who has transferred to the U of A is invited to bring an item from their old school to trade in for a Razorback branded item.
Thursday, students are invited to stop by Silas Hunt Hall from 10 to 2. Student IDs will be required.
And that is all the time we have for this Tuesday night edition of UATV News. Make sure to follow us on social media at UATV News. I am Joshua Droll.
And I'm Lauren Burgess. Thank you for joining us and have a good night.